don't think I brought that down. Okay. Are you on the air? You wouldn't happen to have an iPhone cable left it in the car. I have to reset my iPhone. Oh no, I need to plug it into my laptop and reset the phone. Oh, thank you. If you don't mind. Hold on, of course. Everybody, this is Lady J. Welcome, y'all. So we in the office today. Got my friend and brother here, Jabari. Today we're going to be talking about this crime and stuff that's going on in the city because it's hitting everybody really hard. This morning I actually did a show with let me turn the radio on, y'all. I always do this. I need an engineer. So this morning I actually did a show with a lady whose daughter was shot over 25 times. So y'all can go back and look at that. You can go on YouTube and watch that video. You can go on my page and watch the video. But the thing is, we got to talk about like what is going on in our city with this crime. And I think at this point in time, Jabari, sometimes it goes on so much that we like, for example, last week we had the elderly lady who was murdered, which was just unreal. This woman was murdered in the church. Before we could finish even like listening to her story and grieving at her story, another young lady was shot and killed over at Burger King. She was 24. Then we had the 13-year-old girl that was shot. Then we had the 5-year-old girl, that they found out that she had been physically abused. And so it's just like so much stuff going on. And I really wanted to just take a moment and talk about it because it's just like, I'm starting to wonder, like, what is going on? Is it because of COVID and the restrictions? Is it people don't have jobs? Like, what the heck is going on?
We're going through, and that's a great point, Lady J.
Mm-hmm.
We are encountering so many different wars right now when it comes to psychological warfare. I feel as though a lot of us are hopeless out here right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're misguided, and it's gone to a point where something imminent has to happen.
Yeah.
To cease this ignorance.
Do you think? Let me ask you this: do you think? Because some people right now, there's people who are blaming politicians for what's going on. Do you think that, like, when it comes to the mayor, police commissioner, all these people, do you think that we can really? Do you think that we can really put the blame on them, or
No,
no?
I
Okay.
feel as though it's a collaborative effort.
Mhm.
Uh, it is the duties of elected officials to come out and seek resolution.
Mhm.
But I don't think it's fair to put all the blame on them.
Yeah.
It's something that we all must collectively form some kind of solution to
Mhm.
combat this.
Right. Right. Right.
If you don't have the answers, let's all get together and attempt to get the answers.
Right.
Uh, I feel as though there are things in a regular days routines, daily routines that could change. There's certain reforms that could change. Uh, Certain people who we put in office should
Mhm.
change.
Mhm.
It's a group effort, and awareness is the first step.
Yeah. Yeah. And because right now, I don't know if I should say poor Brandon Scott, or I don't know if I should say that, but I feel like at this point in time, like everybody is jumping on Brandon Scott. For those of you who don't live in Baltimore, Brandon Scott is the mayor of our city, and I feel like everybody's jumping on Brandon Scott and just saying like you need to get something done or you need to step down. So my thing is this: if our mayor should step down tomorrow, I don't know that the crime is going to stop because he stepped down. You know,
Right, right.
I don't lay everything at his feet. I think that they do bear a certain amount of responsibility, but I don't think that we should just we see, to me, that's taking an approach where we're not really paying attention
Right.
and we're not really looking at this thing for what it is. It's not if he steps down. I remember at one point they were calling for the police commissioner to be fired. If we let go all of these people, and how many police commissioners have we had anyway? If we let all of these people go, the crime is still here. So my question is, what do we do now at this point, like, to get rid of the crime? I don't know. I don't know.
Far too often in today's society, uh, the streets is a symbolism of power
Mhm.
to those who are not relying on a 9 to 5,
Mhm.
those who are not relying on the military or college to gain power.
Mhm.
Think about it. A lot of the movies, the videos, commercials, just the whole culture
Mhm.
is a fast gratification type of climate
Yeah.
that a lot of the youth, I'm gonna say, uh, even those who aren't the youth, it bleeds into far too many times and influences.
Mhm.
To combat that, we have to look at means of power economically in between those methods of obtaining the finances, which is obtaining things for ourselves. And far too often, that's not an issue from elected officials, from conversations amongst ourselves that needs to be talked about.
Mhm.
Some type of unity, some type of way that we can uh, gain power without falling to those traps of mass incarceration,
Mhm.
of modern
Mhm.
day slavery, which we are disproportionately set to the penal system far too many times.
Right.
Uh, it has to stop, and it needs to be an issue that we all are on the same page for it to be effective.
Mhm. So, my other thing, I think the other thing that bothers me about this now is, well, it's a few things. One thing I want to mention too is, when I was growing up, like, it was certain people that was off limits, like the elderly, the children.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't target certain people, and now it just seems like that rule is gone.
Yeah,
They're killing the elderly, the children, like anybody can get it.
yeah,
And I'm
basically,
like, what happened to the code? What happened? What happened to certain people, women holding their children? What happened to things like that where these people were off limits? It's like the city has gone crazy, and sometimes I feel like we live in a lawless society, a lawless city where you can just basically do whatever you want. That's how I feel.
yeah.
That's how it's making me feel now.
It's sad you're preaching right now, because you're right. When we came up, it was maybe an incident here and there that was just
Right.
off the chain that you would hear about, but now it's on the norm.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's sad because it's really numbing us, and desensitizing us to the point where it doesn't affect us. Oh, that I heard about the same thing last
Right,
week.
right,
That's
right,
nothing.
right.
And this is really training us to be to know that this jungle is a way of life.
Yeah, yes. You said it, a way of life. I mean, I travel a lot.
Mhm.
So I remember when I was in Tennessee and people were just walking up to me like, "Oh, this is a nice," and I jumped because
Mhm.
I'm like, where I live
You're
at.
not used to that.
No, where I live at, you putting your hands on me just to say that's a nice shirt,
Yeah,
like stuff
yeah,
like that gets you shot and killed,
yeah, yeah.
And so it's like the way that I feel like sometimes the things that we live through in this city and the
Mhm.
things that we go through on a regular, like we have to actually get up every single day. Not just us. I think about the children who on a regular are seeing death, you
Yes.
know, every single day somebody dying, somebody got shot. You hearing stuff on the news, you hearing gunfire. And then we expect them to go to school, function properly, be good kids, get good grades, and nobody's tapping into that trauma. And I'm always like, where do you think that goes? You think that they just supposed to wake up and keep going? I can't do it sometimes. You
Right.
know,
It's hard.
it's very hard. It's very hard.
And far too many times, we are the problems.
Mhm. Mhm.
We don't sit there and embrace and talk about these problems. Far too many times, these traumatizing events, incidents are taboo.
Right.
You
Right.
know, somebody also always wants to one up on you, or I've been through this instead of listening, being an ear for somebody
Mhm.
in their time
Mhm.
of need, in their crisis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody has a different story, and uh, it's time that we need to start embracing each other more uh, collectively.
Yeah.
What we're watching, what we're listening to, all that plays a big part.
Because we're dying out. And I was telling my son last night, I was like, it was crazy. I said, a lot of young men your age are being killed. So who's going to be producing children?
Mm,
Like where's the next generation coming from?
mm,
Because a lot of our young men are in the ground,
yes,
and they're just dying at a rapid rate. So we got a whole generation that probably won't ever happen because we need y'all. We need y'all to make to help us to have these children to produce these children, and they're in the ground.
that's right.
And that's the sad part. And so when I look at our city, it just really breaks my heart when I see, our young men out here. And I've talked to them, like even out here, I go outside and talk to them. Ask them why they're out there. Some of them are out there because they're telling me they don't have any lights on at home,
Mm,
so they trying to be out here making some money. This one little boy was 10 years old. He out here, squeegee kid. They didn't have any food. I'm like, you're supposed to be in school,
mm, mm,
no
mm.
food. So a lot of them have left school to be out here to make money, to help with the bills at home. And it's just like it breaks my heart because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing and why? And how do we move from where we are to get back to having some sense of normalcy in our city? Because it's gone. Like for me, it's gone.
It really
You know,
is.
I lay in my bed and it happened last night too. And I heard pop, 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 pop. And in my brain, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that was 10 gunshots. In a few minutes, the ambulance should be coming. Yup, there they go.
Mm,
In a few minutes, the helicopter should
mm,
be
mm,
flying over.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
there they go.
mm.
And it's just like I'm in my mind.
Clockwork.
And it happens just exactly
Wow.
because I'm so used to it going on.
Mhm.
And I don't live in a bad neighborhood, but it's just like I hear gunfire all the time, you know?
Mm,
And so in my brain, I know that, okay, this is going to happen. The gunfire just happened. Yup, here comes the ambulance. I know the sound of the ambulance, the police car. I know the helicopter when it's coming, and everything just comes right in order,
mm, mm,
right in
mm, mm.
order, because that's where we are right now. And I said, this is a sad place to be because that's not normal. It's
It's
not
not
normal.
normal. It's not normal.
It's not.
Far too many times, and right now, I mean, the statistics are at an alarming rate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Baltimore is murder cap. I mean, think about it. The suicide rate is high.
Yeah, yeah.
Fraud is up, crime is at a real high peak,
Mhm.
and it's by design, y'all.
Yeah.
It need to be said that we got to read and digest those who expected these things to occur.
Mhm.
Uh, Book called Brainwash by Tom Burrell. I would recommend that to everybody to really tell you why we act out.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a reason for all this, and it's a reason why we don't collectively come together and stop being straight consumers.
Right.
We need to
Right.
start investing. We need to start feeding our brain things that's going to combat this
Mhm.
modern day slavery because it was death or jail.
Because we're being, people will talk about like the white man and all of this and that, but sometimes we enslaving ourselves because
That's right.
we won't let that mental poverty mindset go. We won't let this tit for tat mindset go, and so we keep ourselves right here.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, I understand why Baltimore is known for crabs because we
Mm-hmm.
have that crab
Oh
in a
my
barrel
goodness! Good
mentality,
God Almighty!
and everybody's trying to keep the other person down, and it's just really sad because it's like, how do you grow? How do you grow? How do you expand when you keep pulling each other
Mm.
down? There's no, and the sad part now, and I do understand it, when things happen, nobody speaks up. The fear on the street is the code on the street. You don't say anything, you know, you don't snitch, you don't say anything. So my thing now is just, I just wonder how long this can go on. I think about that every day. Like, how long can this really, really go on? I feel like sometimes, how you watch the news and you see places like Beirut, Iraq, and all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we are just like a third world country. Like they in here, they fighting, they killing each other. You go to some of the neighborhoods, some of the houses look like they've been blown up.
Right.
And it's just like, I wonder sometimes, like, what is going on in my city?
You know what? And that's what's going on is we need to start holding ourselves more accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just a Generation X. I'm not going to put it all on the youth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have to look at ourselves in the mirror, those before them, and say, we failed
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
educate our youth to know that, okay, it's not the white man. Okay, the white man, yes, he collectively,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
wants to oppress
Mm-hmm.
us.
Right.
And those, we know what we mean when we say the white man.
Right. Right.
This not just refers to every Caucasian
Mm-hmm.
person out here, to the top of those who control the financial system.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're not placing ourselves in a position to combat that uh, keeps us in the same position. We're screwed right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's going to combat that is us to engage in certain taxes that's going to get us out of this financial crisis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's going to make us not only consumers.
Right.
What's cool is the streets. So I mean, how do you combat somebody who's making money on the corner, who's feeding his family through drug money?
Yeah.
I mean, reality is crime's going to be here, but at the end of the day, we must combat that by saying there must be some kind of alternative method in place, and we're not doing that.
Because they can't, like some of these boys I talk to, and I might say, why don't you go get a job? And they'll quickly tell me, why would I go work at McDonald's or one of these fast food places when I'm making X amount of dollars on the street? And they're in their mind, they're doing what they need to do to get through today,
Right.
and they're not looking at long term. And I understand that. And I always tell people, if you don't live in that environment and if you didn't come from that, it's easy to say they should get out or they should be doing this or they should be doing that, but that's all they know.
Right.
That's all they
Basically.
know.
Success.
And they don't know anything else. So I'm always, I just try to encourage them to do better. But again, it's a mindset.
It is.
It's a mindset.
It is.
And I wish it was stuff in place. I really do wish it was more things in place, like when we used to have all the rec centers and stuff open. We don't have that anymore, but I wish it was more things in place to really help our young people to know that, what, there's life outside of that corner that you're standing
That's
on.
right.
The White House where Barack Obama was at being the president, that's just down the road.
That's right.
It's not that far, but I think it's up to us, and a lot of people are afraid to go back into the community. I see that all the time. They're afraid to go into the community.
Basically.
Yeah, it's a fear.
And we can't be afraid of ourselves, y'all. that's something that has been taught to us,
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
years, 405
Mhm.
years ago, and we can't fall for the same moves.
Right. Right.
We're not going to agree on everything, but that doesn't mean that we're going to kill each other at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we got to find a way to combat these evils.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. And I want to like before we even end the show, before we get too far in it, I definitely want to talk about the lady who was uh the elderly lady. I'm trying to remember her name. I'm gonna look it up. The lady who was murdered last week at the church. Now, you know, when I think about that, I don't know what in the world would possess somebody to stab
Mm.
an elderly woman to death. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe y'all can help me out. I don't get it. I don't. I mean, I couldn't put my hands on it. That's I'm looking at that person like my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put my hands on you like that,
Right.
or even open my mouth to be nasty or disrespectful. It's
Yeah.
like you're my grandmother's age. I can't. Like it's just crazy. And I'm like, what possesses somebody to go and do that? And then you walk away and you feeling good right now. You feeling good about what you did. Like, come on, and I don't know, Jabari, that thing really bothered me. It really did.
The devil out here running wild,
Yeah.
and too many times we don't see the devil because it's, as I said before, it's been numb. We've seen it so much.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
identifying it. Oh, that happens all the time. It's
Mhm.
common, so it's not such a atrocity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where we're not combating. We nah.
Yeah.
Um, it's time for us to really start focusing on leaders such as Dr. Umar Johnson,
Mhm.
who's he's putting out schools to teach us, to educate us properly, because
Right.
we are definitely
Right.
misguided out here.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, let that be no mistake. It shouldn't be any kind of education standard
Mhm.
in this nation.
Right. Right.
We call it the United States of America. It shouldn't be that. Period.
Mhm. Mhm.
Education, healthcare, none of that should be a luxury.
That's right. That's right.
However, it is here.
Mhm.
It's a lot of propaganda. It's a lot of propaganda campaigns put in place to lead us astray, to bamboozle us, to
Mhm.
fool us, to trick us,
Mhm.
and yet we falling for the same move.
Right. Right. Right.
So
We gotta wake up.
we gotta wake up. It's on us. We need to look in that mirror and stop, pointing fingers, and
Mhm.
stop calling on a man, and stop, man, looking at every other reason outside of ourselves.
Yeah.
I said we the problem.
Yeah. We definitely are. We gotta take responsibility for that. And this the lady's name that was murdered last week, and I just want to say
Mm.
to her family, like, my condolences. This is ridiculous. But she was 69 years old and she was stabbed to death in church. And for those of you who are watching and listening from other places, we live in Baltimore City. So
Mm-hmm.
this is about someone in Baltimore. But she was 69 years old. She was found murdered inside the church. Right now, there's $100,000 reward out for anybody who may have any information about what happened. And that's something that the governor put up. Again, 69-year-old. She's 69 years old. She's a grandmother, mother, and what they said is that she showed up at the church. The church is called Southern Baptist Church, where Pastor Dante Hickman is the senior pastor. She showed up at the church around 6 a.m., and that was on a Tuesday. And she was there that early because she was opening doors for the contractors to come in and do some work. And then less than an hour later, somebody found Miss Player in the bathroom and she had been stabbed multiple times. And I'm just like, what in the world happened? And somebody, I had even read something where somebody said, what got so bad within an hour of her being there that she was stabbed to death? Was she the intended target? What did they think it was somebody else? Like, what in the world possessed somebody to stab a woman of her age multiple times? I just it's just unbelievable. Um, and her daughter was on the news, and her daughter was even saying like they would always text each other every morning, and so her mother had texted her and said, I'm at church, and she said okay, and then her mother said I love you, and she said I love you back, and after that, no, she didn't hear anything else from her mother. The next call she gets is that her mother was found murdered in the church. So this is some of the stuff that we
An
dealing
elderly
with here
woman.
in the city, yeah, and of all places in the church, in the church. So I'm like, you can't even go to church, you can't sit at home. I already
Wow.
know I can't sit on my porch. It's just like it. I think it just does so much to you. I feel like we're all in shock for real, just walking around,
It
because
is.
you know, so much trauma takes place on a daily basis, and that's why sometimes, even with me being in the media, I don't even watch the news. Like it'll have to come across my phone
Yeah.
because I just get so sick of the same thing over and over and over again. So we definitely want to send our condolences to Mrs.
Yes.
Evelyn Player's family, because that's just,
Condolences to the whole family. This
yes,
is just terrible. It's
yeah.
beyond out of control. This city is under siege,
Hmm.
and we need to start calling on regular meetings to combat this.
Something.
I mean, people need to come out and bring forward information. Do the same thing you would want somebody to do for you if it
Hmm.
was your family.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like Lady J said before, there's not even a code in the street anymore.
Nope.
There's no boundaries as to who is your intended target hit. A child, innocent, elderly, pastors, etc. Is gone too far,
Hmm. Hmm.
and we must come across some other way to combat this. If we don't have an answer, let's seek an answer. Let's hold some town hall meetings and hold these elected officials accountable.
Yeah,
Uh, Everybody, we have to do it together. That's the only way it's going to work.
we do, and I think, Jabari, the other thing we have to do too is we have to make more noise. Like, the thing that I notice in our city is that we'll see these killings, we protest, we
Mm-hmm.
yell, we scream, we put up our signs, and we do all of that, and then we go home.
That's right.
And it's almost like we waiting for the next killing to happen.
That's right.
And we
That's right.
come out, and depending on how big it is, and I hate to put it like that, but like everybody was pissed off that this elderly lady, and we should be, that she was killed, so everybody showed up. But it's just like, okay, what do we do after that?
After the protest, that's an
Yeah,
excellent question,
what
Lady
do we
J.
do after that?
After that, we need to uh, enforce political reform, policy reform
Mm-hmm.
on incidents like this, such as asking questions: were there any cameras around? Where were the police officers on duty? How long did it take them to react to the call?
Mm-hmm.
We need to
Mm-hmm.
start conducting our own investigations, because if we're going to rely on detectives to those monsters who are part of this
Mm-hmm.
monster, this penal system, who wants to oppress and who benefits off of us being locked up to do their jobs, then we have nothing coming. We're lying to ourselves.
Right.
We got to care about our own cases,
Mm-hmm.
as if we're the only persons who are looking into it.
That's right. That's right. And we had another young lady. She was only 13.
Mm.
13 years old. She was fatally shot. This was last week. So by the time we ended last Friday, last week, almost a week ago, by the time we ended last Friday, 9 people had already been shot and killed
Oh my
that week.
gosh!
And,
Wow, that's just ridiculous.
it really is. Yeah, she was fatally shot, and they said that the officers responded to. She was actually standing outside. I think it was in one of the projects. I forgot the name of it, but she was actually standing outside. So they responded to it, and she died. She died from the gunshot wounds. 13 years old. Still, they don't know why. I think this is always the burning question with everybody. And by the way, she was number 302. 302 people have been killed in this city, and we haven't even gotten to the end of the year. So she was number 302. Um,
Mm, 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 mm.
you know,
A child.
a child, 13 years old.
Let's see, we're going from one extreme to the next.
Mm-hmm.
An
Mm-hmm.
elderly woman to a child.
Right. Right. Right.
What the hell kind of monsters is out here?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think far too many times, you know, we could talk about some thuggish. We could
Mm-hmm.
talk about being on your gangs. We don't. Whatever. It's a difference when you're doing things of that nature.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
glorifying anything. I'm not sitting here condoning or trying to be an advocate of any type of ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say is this is crazy.
It
Whoever don't
is.
see it, and those who may see themselves as coming up or whatever you want to call it, getting yours if it's about some money. Look how you're doing to get it. You gotta live with
Mm-hmm.
that for the rest of your life.
Right. Right. And is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
Like, is it really worth it? Like, you got death on your hands. Hey, Kemp,
You got
love you, bro. You got death on your hands. Is it worth it? Like, come on. I'm telling you, like, I hate, and I really hate to say it because I'm just at a point now where I want to move away. I'm just put it out there. Like, I'm tired of this city for real. I'm tired of it.
a
Um,
lot of people feel that same way. I've heard that in multiple conversations. Business
I'm
owners,
sick of it. Yeah.
some business owners who've been here for 17, 15
Mm-hmm.
years decided to pack up and get out of this because who wants the mental anguish of maybe I could be me tomorrow night?
Exactly. Like
You know,
you don't never know. Like when I go out my door, that's why every time I'm texting my son or talking to him, whatever, I'm always saying I love you, I love you. I don't know if I'm going back home. You know, I live my life every day. Like that's why I enjoy my life. I enjoy, I have a good time. I don't know if I'm going back home. You know, that's just the reality of the city that I live in. I don't know. And I live with that every day. The other thing, as a mother, I used to be really bad, Jabari. I used to be so stressed. Like when my son would come home from college, while he was away at college, I was good. I was fine because I knew he was away at college.
Yeah.
The moment he would come home, my stress level went up.
Mm.
If he went out in the evening time, he don't even hang out. Sometimes he would just be like, I'm going down to Burger King or something.
Yeah.
I'm stressed until he gets to Burger King, comes back home, and I hear that key turning in the door. And I had to really start talking to myself like, you gotta stop.
Yeah.
But my son is 25, and we have this thing like he knows because of the way the city is. Like, okay, mom, I just got here, or mom, he shouldn't have to do that at 25.
He shouldn't.
You
He
know,
shouldn't. To
but
comfort his mother is
yes, and that's what he does. I love the fact that he does it. But I'm like, at 25, he shouldn't have to say, "Mom, I'm over here now," or I just instead of coming home right away, I'm going over here. But because of the climate of the city, and a lot of my female friends have already lost their sons. I'm one of a few that still has my son.
That's terrible.
And so it's hard,
Yeah.
and it's like something that I really had to work on personally, because I said if I don't work on this, it's going to make me sick, because he's a grown man. He's going to go out. I can't make him stay in the house. So he has his own life, his job, his car, whatever. But the fear that I feel sometimes, even with him, and it's crazy, even with him taking the trash out and going to the backyard and going outside, because the trash man, we got to put it outside of the fence. Even doing that, sometimes I'm like, don't take it out tonight, just take it out tomorrow. Just a little bit of fear. But that's the city that we live in.
And that's it's a shame because this is coming from a woman I personally know with a lot of courage.
Yeah.
And sometimes just you being courageous doesn't overcome reality.
Right.
There's
Right.
monsters out here who you can't control. What's going to happen when you're not around.
Right.
And she's basically a spokeswoman for a lot of other mothers out here who feel the same way.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you can't just train yourself to not, get yourself out of a fearful situation. That you're seeing this stuff every day on the news.
Yeah.
Everybody knows somebody who lost somebody. This is trauma, y'all. This is hell.
Yeah.
We got to do better. We got to do better, y'all.
And it's like living in hell sometimes, because you wake up and it's just like, what? Like you go to sleep and you like, what happened? Or you go out the door to do something, and you turn the news on and you like, what? Like when I heard the news about the Miss Player, I'm like, whoa, wait, what? I had to just like sit for a minute. They did what? Like it just blew my mind, This other story I wanted to talk about too was the police officer. He was a former Baltimore County police officer who killed his two daughters, 6 and 7, himself, and the person that was in the car with him. Now this story right here, stories like this really make me mad, because if you are going through something, kill yourself. If you're gonna kill somebody, go ahead and kill yourself. But the kids, why are you killing the children?
Yes.
These girls, I don't want to put nobody's pictures up or anything like that, but Y'all can go look it up. These two girls were some beautiful little girls. Two beautiful little girls who will never know what their future is going to be like. And it seems like it was because he was going through something with the mom. Now, adults, if you're going through something with your man or your woman, leave the kids out of it.
Please.
Please,
They had
just
nothing to
stop.
do
There
with
had
it.
nothing to do with that.
You know.
Stop. Like
Hello.
that story made me so mad that he kidnapped the little girls. So the police are now looking for you because they know you got the girls. And then they find him in the truck where he's not only shot himself, but he's also shot his two little girls. How do you shoot your children? That's something that you created. Like, how do you do that? And that's why I said, where in the world is everybody's mind at today? I don't understand it. Like,
I
what
can't
in the
even call
world's
that
going on?
insanity. I don't even know if there's a word for that.
Yeah. Like, how do you kill your seed? That's yours. I don't. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all know I'm real clear about. I'm very transparent about my life. I have been married, divorced, hated my husband, my ex-husband, been sick of him, but it ain't never crossed my mind to do anything to harm my child because my child didn't have anything to do with it.
That's right.
I still had enough in me, even going through my depression and all of that, to say I still got to protect this little boy right here. I mean, what? I don't care how mad his dad made me. I don't care. I'm not going to take my son's life.
No
like,
excuse
what? Oh my goodness, that hurt me so bad. The mom was on the news, and she was just speechless. Like, I know that we love people. I know we fall in love with people and all of that, but if you are at a point, and I'm talking to anybody who's listening right now, if you're at a point where you're in a relationship and you're at that point where you're thinking about harming your children, please, I'm begging you, don't do that. Don't do that. Please go get some help. Like, I'm gonna put my number up on the screen because I always do that. Put my number up. You can call me. And you know what?
The crisis hotline.
Yeah, matter of fact, one lady called me. She did call me. And she was real depressed to the point where she wasn't even taking care of her children. And when she called me, Jabari, she was at a point where she was getting ready to take her life.
Oh no.
I was actually at work when the woman called, and my hands were shaking because I'm on the phone, and she's like, "Lady J, you put your number out there, so I was calling you." And you know how you put your number out there, but you don't think nobody really gonna call, right? And this woman called me, and I actually talked. I had her on the phone talking to her, trying to keep her from killing herself, and I had the crisis hotline on. And I was actually, they were asking me questions, giving me questions to ask her. Okay. She didn't know they were on the phone at first, so I'm asking her everything they saying. Ask her this, ask her that, and then finally I said to her, "Do you mind if somebody could come and help you? Because I can't come right now."
Right.
And we kept talking because her thing was, "No, I need you to come with them." I'm like, "I can't come because I'm at work," but I stayed on the phone with her until the people from the crisis hotline got to her house to get her some help.
That's major.
And they saved her life. And that's what I'm talking about. If you are at that point, like, you can always turn it around. You can always turn it around and say, you know what? Like I kept telling her on the phone, don't take your life. Her son was in the bed. He was 17 years old. He didn't even know what was going on. And she was downstairs in the living room getting ready to take her life. And I said, your son is going to come downstairs and find his mother dead on the sofa. Like, how is that going to leave him? That's going to forever be etched in his brain.
It is.
I'm coming down to see my mom, and then you see her dead on the sofa. So if y'all out here listening, like, there's always another way to do this. Depression is real. Like, I really believe the officer was depressed and, definitely suicidal. He had a lot of stuff going on. But y'all, it's always a way to reach out and talk to somebody and get some help and leave these children out of it.
That's right.
Like, y'all killing off a whole generation. We ain't nobody gonna be producing children. I told my son, ain't nobody gonna be walking around with old people because they killing off.
That's true.
They killing off everybody.
She's not lying.
It's just really sad. So we gotta get to a point where we start protecting our youth.
Mhm.
The other thing that I'm seeing that's going on now is these snatch and grabs with the ATM machines. I'm like,
Oh my
what is
God.
going on with that?
I mean, this is like fast gratification to the core. True
Yes,
definition, like everything, all money ain't good money, and that's I don't think that really that lesson wasn't taught to a lot of people.
it wasn't.
They see something, they want it now, and it's a bait.
It
It's
is,
you self
and
destructing out there.
I'm like, the fact that it's just like I think that like our crimes have gone from the usual crimes to stuff like stealing ATMs, and somebody had drove into a building not too long ago, drove into the store so they could break in and get the ATM, and it's just all these different levels that people are and lengths that people are going to, because people, for one thing, I know in our city, people can't find a job. We got the unemployment crisis going on. We got people losing their homes
Mhm.
because they don't have a job and they can't get their unemployment. And then we got the homeless crisis going on.
Yes,
We
yes.
have people that are homeless. I've interviewed people that are homeless who've never been homeless before.
Hmm.
And that's because, and they're on the street, and that's because they've lost their all of their resources,
That's right.
and so they living on the street, and so it's a lot of stuff going on in the city. And I'm just doing this show just to kind of vent, because y'all know this is what in Baltimore, that's what we doing here, we vent. But I'm hoping that at some point in time, I my prayer is that it can turn around. I don't know that it can, because we're just so far gone. What you think? I don't know.
We are gone. Change. That one word that Obama won on. His whole campaign was based on change, and that it's going to feel uncomfortable. I'm talking to everybody who wants change but doesn't have the answers, and I thank all the viewers, subscribers for just being on right now, just
Hmm.
giving an ear. That's a major step.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we love y'all for just seeking some resolution.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Change is how we're thinking. Everything's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
We have to be realistic with one of ourselves about ourselves and know that just one of us is not going to change a whole household. They say it
Hmm.
take a village to raise a child.
Right.
That's real. It takes a village to really, to transform the minds of a misguided child,
Hmm.
a mentally ill child.
Yep.
Mental illness is real for adults and children. And far too many times in our community, we call it crazy. We sweep it
Hmm.
under the rug, we put it in the corner, and we don't give the proper attention to it.
Right.
Oh man, he
Right. Right.
crazy, she crazy, man, you know how she is.
Hmm.
Okay, well help that crazy person, whatever.
Right.
Ask them what's going on in their mind, because this person may, trust and believe me, people with mental illness is a sharp too.
Yes. Yes.
They have deficiencies, just like everybody got pros and cons, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. To talk to them.
Hmm.
You don't never
Hmm.
know. You probably save somebody's life.
That's right. That's right.
The same way Lady J saved somebody else's life.
Yep. And we got who's that? We got Van on here. So Van is saying that she said, "Hey sis, Charlene, Lady J, we just." Oh, she said we just left from down. Oh, they were down here protesting. That's right. Because normally everybody, this is the hour for People's Power Assembly. Now that group, they protest. They will come out and put boots on the ground. So they were
Yes.
just down here protesting. And it's for anything across the board, nothing special. If they see something going on, they get out here. And the thing about it is older people, is younger people, they get out here and they protest. And I think those are some of the things that we have to do. And we have to keep these stories in the forefront. The story I did today, this morning, this lady's daughter had been shot 25 times.
Mm.
25 times. And they don't know who did it. And it happened in her house in front of her son.
Mm.
Her 5 year, four, I think he was 3 at the time. Um, and they don't know who did it. And so it's just like all of these crimes going on. I have people in my family that have been killed execution style.
Mm.
And still to this day, they don't know who did it. And so a lot of us, we walk around, and I remember when we would have jury duty before COVID, and I would get called for jury duty a lot. And when they would call me up front and they would be like, well, Miss Jenkins, can you be objective? I would tell them, no, I can't.
Mm.
Like I don't even know what's going on.
Right.
And I would tell the judge that like I can't be objective. I said, look, I don't know who's doing what. I got people in my family that's been killed.
Mm.
Y'all don't seem, nobody can prosecute, nobody can pick nobody up. So I told them, if you call my name, I might not be a good person. So they would
Right.
just always tell me, go sit down. They go sit down. Because I told them, look, I'm tired. You
Yeah.
keep calling me for jury duty and calling me for what? Either you're letting the people go, you saying that you can't, they're not guilty, you letting them go, you putting them back on the street, you can't find people. So I told them, look, now I wouldn't be a good candidate because,
Right.
I probably would make the wrong decision. Let me see. Van said, what did she say? What is she saying? Man, I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. She said something about, the Kyle Rittenhouse.
Protects. He got off
Oh, he got
scot
a.
free, and my husband's still sitting.
Oh, okay. So Van's husband, let me tell y'all real quick. Van's husband is has been in prison for I think like 18 years for a crime that he didn't commit.
Mm.
And it actually really just came out last year, like it was all in the news and everything, that he did not commit the crime. He was set up by a detective.
Okay.
And he's still sitting in prison this year. And
Wow.
everybody, and including Van and People's Power Assembly, they've been helping her because they're trying to figure out like what are y'all waiting for? The detective is now locked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's locked up. So
Oh,
everybody, they're all saying like, let this black man go. Like, what are you waiting for? Why
right.
is he still in there?
Right.
So that's what she's talking about. And Kyle Rittenhouse was the one that shot the people in the crowd. And I don't know. I mean, one day we'll have a discussion about that. But Kyle, he got enough supporters. He got enough money. They paid for his attorneys. It was a huge GoFundMe to help him. Everybody had their flags and their rallies and protesting for Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm protesting for my people.
That's right. That's right.
Kyle Rittenhouse, you God bless you. You got off. Go do the right thing. I'm protesting for my people and my community,
That's
and I'm
right.
talking about the young men and the young boys in the community. And if Kyle got off, it ain't nothing I can say about that because that's what they decided. So I just be quiet about that. My opinion is my opinion behind closed doors, but when I'm on these airwaves, I'm focused on my community and the brothers and sisters in my community who are incarcerated, who are out here on drugs, who are in Pennsylvania and North looking like zombies. Those are the people I'm talking about. How do we help them? How do we get them out of that mindset? Because if we don't change that mindset, it's going to just this is a generational curse. It's going to continue to go down from one generation to the other generation because nobody is stopping the cycle. Somebody has to come in and interrupt that cycle and say, we cannot continue to do this. It's not okay for mom and grandmother to be on drugs and then the children come and they on drugs and the grandchildren. It's not okay. It's not okay. And then we got a lot of, I was watching this video of this lady, and it was cute. I have to say it was really cute. No offense. I loved it. But this lady, it was 6 generations. And somebody made a comment like, you should never, ever know your great, great, great grandmother. Like, how old were they when they started having children?
God.
It was like,
they hanging out the club
yeah,
together, huh?
and then when you look at them, and then the oldest grandmother, she came through and she was like 6 generations, and and I was on there, and I was like, it's not funny, but it is funny because it's just like, when did y'all start having children at 12? Like, and I understand what you're saying about like it's 6 generations, but still, what kind of message does that send? And so then we're looking at this lady's daughter because she was the first one. She looked like she might have been about 12 or 13. And somebody was commenting, like, oh, okay, I guess she's next, because they start early. But, those are the things that we have to change because it's not okay for you to be a teen mother. Your body is not even fully developed. Shoot, I was like 30 something when I had my son. I ain't feel like I was ready. That thing hurts.
Your body, your mind,
yeah, none of that. None of that. Like you're not ready. So we got that going on. It's so many things going on in the community. And Eddie Crow said change is something the news media
has zero interest in.
Yeah, zero interest in. Eddie, thank you very much. Very much.
That's very
I
true.
say this all the time. The media feeds you what they want you to see and hear.
Yes.
And that's why, Lady J, I don't get involved in who killed who did what. You will never see me doing stories, no post on the page, none of that, because we got brothers like this one. Y'all can't even see the brother over here. We got brothers in our community who are doing the right thing. That's what I focus on. Black owned businesses. I focus on stuff like that. So we got young. My son, 25, graduated with a dual degree. We from college. We have black men and women out here who are doing great things. That's what I talk about. But Eddie Crow said it. They feed us what they want us to see. So what we see is our boys standing on the corner. We last week they I forgot what station it was. They did a whole segment on the squeegee boys, how bad they were, how many windows they've hit, how many people they've hurt. I go out this building all the time by myself, walk up to them, talk to them. They're yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I give them money. I ain't driving no car. I'm just walking. I give them money. I tell them go get some food. They say thank you, ma'am. Do that kind of story. Do that story. And I'm always encouraging them, like, you know what? I said, I love the fact that you're out here doing this to make money instead of out here stealing or doing some other stuff. They say thank you. But that's not the story that we see when it comes to the squeegee kids.
They only want one image of us, and that's something negative.
Yeah. And we got to be the ones to change the narrative. That's why media, for me, I love it, because I can sit here. This is my station. I can do what I want to do.
Yes.
And this is what I choose to do. And I always want to change that narrative about black men. I was telling you today, I sat with a couple, a black man who was just like he loves his wife, like he was just all over his wife, and they're in business together. They put their money out there to feed the homeless. And while I'm interviewing her, he's out there putting the tables up, putting tablecloths on the table, candles, all kind of stuff. And I said, you know what, we got to turn the camera on him, because this man right here, he's supporting his wife. And those are the stories we don't see. But we do see black women out here struggling with their children at the bus stop, or they can't pay their bill, and there's no black man in the picture at all. It's almost like they don't exist. And so we got to change the narrative and show that there are black men out here taking care of their families.
That's right.
They love their wives. They love their children.
That's right.
Even if they got 2 and 3 jobs, they doing what they're supposed to do. And it's up to us to change the narrative. Let me see. And something else Eddie said, they are spoiled beyond belief. Why would they care? They have made it. They live above the law. Is he saying they live above all the
it's spread. They can't find a single good thing to say about the good people in Baltimore, and that's true.
Right, exactly. And
excellent point, Eddie.
Yep, because you know what? There's just a lot of good in Baltimore. There's a lot of good in Baltimore, and I refuse. I'm not. Listen, if you're gonna come on here and you're gonna be talking about especially the black men, and y'all know I don't play that with the black men, because I got a son. This lady kept coming on. She came on. She was writing in the comments one day, and she kept saying, "I'm tired of you saying You're always saying I have a black son." I said, "Well, what color is he?" I have a black son. So what you want me to say? I got a black son, and that's what I say. So, you're not going to come on this platform and talk about men, because, again, I have a black son. Let's see. This is Van. She said, "This brother looks familiar to me." Now, Van knows everybody, so more than likely, y'all probably know each other. I have to get y'all to talk after the show.
Yes.
But this Van right here, she knows everybody.
Okay.
Van used to she has been everywhere.
I'm pretty sure I say you too as well.
Yeah, she's a good person. She does a show on my station. So, but yeah, everybody, we just wanted to come on and really, like, y'all know What Up Baltimore is just a show where you can vent, you can fuss, you can cuss, you can do whatever. And this is your show. I call it the People Show, because you get to come on and I don't, I'm not going to disagree or agree with you. This is your show. You come on and say what you want and say how you feel. The only thing I ask is that we just respect one another, and you all have always done that. But we do have to get to a point in our city where we start changing the narrative. It's not okay these things that are going on, and we can't just let days go by where we're just putting flowers and doing the balloons up in the air. Like, I'm so tired of that, balloons up
Yeah.
in the air, the
Right.
flowers,
Right.
and like we said, the protest and all of that. What do we do after that? What do we do after the Miss Evelyns that are gone, the 13-year-olds is gone, the two little girls is gone? We had a 5-year-old last week whose parents said that she wasn't feeling well or something. They get the little girl to the hospital and find out the girl has been beaten, so much. She passed away, so rest in peace to her. And just and just so many things that are going on, and even the things that we don't hear about, the things that don't make the news. There's people that have passed away, people that have been shot, they won't even ever make the airwaves. And so
True.
it's like, y'all, we gotta get to a point in this city that we do something. I cannot figure it out. And normally I can figure out a lot of stuff, but I just cannot. I can't figure it out. I'm lost. I'm lost.
Our community uh, advisors, anybody who is involved or active in any progressive cause, please reach out to them or her, him or her.
Yeah.
We need to basically rally,
Yeah.
and after the rallies, our job still isn't done.
Mhm.
Our power is in numbers. Our power is in uh, these ballots. Knowing what these elected officials stand for,
Yeah.
and hold them accountable,
Mhm. Mhm.
and hold each other accountable too.
Right. Right.
You know.
And check on the people in your community. I think that's the other thing. Like, nobody knows each other. We just kind of go in the house and close our doors, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't. We see stuff, and we don't see it.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so I think we just have to get to a point where we decide how involved we're going to get in this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my number at the bottom. It's scrolling at the bottom. If you, like I said this morning when we were on the show, Katera is the young lady that was shot 25 times. And so you can go back and check that video out from this morning. But I always put my number on there, because if you feel like you're going through something and you're afraid to make that call to get some help, some mental help, call me and I will help you, just like I did with the other lady and a lot of other people that I can't talk about because of privacy. But call me and I will help you to get the help that you need. Because one thing I will say is that life is worth living. I've been there being depressed and suicidal, but now that I'm on the other side of it, life is very much worth living and
Mm-hmm.
it's fun. Once you get the
Yes.
help that you need, and we have to be, as adults, we have to be better examples for our children, not just for my children, his children, his children. Like, we got to just be better examples.
That's right.
We have to do better because they're looking at us. And like I said, at some point in time, we got to change this narrative. We got to break this generational curse that's going on in our communities. I do hold the elected officials accountable, but they can't do it alone. So we can let everybody go in city council. We can let the mayor go. We can let the police commissioner, and we can hire all new people. And we're gonna wake up and we still gonna have the same problem,
That's right.
because it's gonna come down to us
Mm-hmm.
and what we can do. So my part in it is I try to do the media part. I try to, come out into the community, do the stories, and try to help people to do better, to be better, to put a focus on the really great stuff that's going on in the community. And you have to ask yourself, what is it that you can do?
That's right.
What can you do to make it better?
Yes.
What can you do? Everybody can do something. And don't say you can't, because I was just sharing with Jabari, like, when I first started this whole radio thing, I was asking people, how do you get started? And nobody would help me. I went on YouTube, I went on YouTube. So don't ever say that you can't do it. If you can read and write and spell and you can comprehend, you can get it done.
That's right.
You can get it done. It's just, do you want to get it done? And I
Yes.
said this morning on the show, we're all just one step away from being homeless, all of us. We're all just one step away from going out the door and being shot and killed and being on Murder Inc. and being maybe on here or on the news. We're all just one step away from going out here being sick. Anything can happen. But it seems like it's not until it happens that people are like, hmm, I should have gotten involved.
Yeah.
Or you want everybody to come and help you. So now we coming to you and we saying, look, we gotta be in this together. So God forbid if your time should ever come, I'm gonna have you on here. I'm gonna support you, but you gotta do the same thing for these other people.
That's right.
We gotta stop closing our doors and our minds to the stuff that's going on. I'm gonna stop preaching. I'm done because I'm so tired of talking about this. Like it just really gets to me.
Preach.
But I just hope everybody and I think it's bothering me even more because of the stories that I've done this year, Jabari, and everybody that I talk to, the final thing that they always say to me is like, the holidays are coming. My loved one won't be here, and that's the lady said it this morning. She said it this morning. She said, "I'm going to work. I'm not even doing Thanksgiving
Mm.
because her daughter's gone. What we celebrating for? You know."
Yeah.
And so it's stuff like that around this time of year that really starts to like get to me. That's the bad part of doing media because you hear all these stories, and I'm thinking about everybody while I'm celebrating with friends and loved ones.
Right.
They got a missing seat. The late one guy had said to me, this Thanksgiving it's going to be like two missing seats at the table.
Mm.
People are gone. And so how do you celebrate? How do you get past that first year? How do you sit there and eat and all of that and laugh and joke and everybody's hurting? So that's what we at, y'all. We got to do better.
We do.
We really, really got to do better. We sitting here talking. That young lady, I think she was 302. We probably done passed that already because today is what Tuesday? No, Monday. So I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, somebody else has been murdered, and even as we speak, somebody's been shot. That's just the reality of it. And that's unfortunate. But I really do hope that everybody has a nice Thanksgiving. Try to enjoy it as best as you can. um, I'll be back talking and doing some more life coaching to help y'all to get through this holiday. I think I might do it maybe Wednesday night. I might do a life coaching thing on Wednesday or something just to try to help people to try to get through the holidays. Anything you want to say before we go?
Uh, no, just the fact that Lady J, you said it all. You all have a safe holidays out here. Just try to encourage somebody who y'all feel as though needs some guidance.
Yeah.
Each one teach one.
Yep.
We in this together.
Yeah, we definitely
One love.
are. And Jabari, thank you for coming on. Listen, y'all, I met
Thank you
Jabari.
for
When
having
was it?
me.
Last week we met?
Yes.
We met last week. And you know how you meet people and with me, like I'm a good judge of people. Like I vibe with certain people. And then some of y'all people, I don't connect with you at all because you're not doing right. Or you're not saying the right thing, or your energy is just off. And sometimes people be trying to connect with me, and then I just have to come out and tell them like this ain't gonna work.
Right, right.
I'm at that age where I'm like, look, this ain't gonna work. We ain't gonna keep talking about
That's
it
right. That's
or
right.
pretending it just ain't gonna work.
That's right.
I just don't have the energy and the tolerance no more. So I just like to let you know up front. But this brother, good vibes all the way from the day I met you.
This is great vibes.
Yeah,
this is a giant. She's a savior. She's a shero. She got more heart.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna be doing some stuff together. So y'all gonna see him more because good brother. And this is what I'm talking about. Putting our brothers in the forefront and letting people see that we got good men out here.
I appreciate that, sis.
Everybody done had their issues, their problems, whatever. But hey, this is a good dude right here. So y'all gonna see him doing some more stuff with Lady J Media. And again, thank you for sitting in with me today. This was like an impromptu little last thing. I was like, we're gonna do a show.
Yeah,
and so we did. So we did. But you got a YouTube page too, right?
I do.
Yeah, tell them about your YouTube page.
Jabari Taylor. I'm artist also. Check me out. Do life coaching.
You do life coaching too?
A little bit. I'm not on your level. I got the training wheels on. I'm trying to be like Lady J when I grow up, y'all. I'm just trying.
Listen. You got knowledge. That's what I say. You got knowledge, and you can encourage a lot of young men out here. A lot of young men can look up to you, and believe me, our young men. I don't care how much women say it, and somebody gonna get mad when I say it, but these boys need a man. Okay,
yes.
They need a man.
Yes,
I'm telling you, like my son is 25, but when he got about, I want to say like 14 to 15. Now he's taller than me. He got a little more muscles and stuff, got a little bass in his voice. And thank God, even though his dad and I were not in a good place and we had separated and everything. But one thing I will say, if I picked that phone up and told him he's showing off, oh, he was right there. And he got good, with him. Good. And so, ladies, we cannot be the mother and the father. That's why I was telling people, they was talking about Happy Father's Day. Don't be wishing me no Happy Father's Day. I am not a father. Right, I was a mother, and that was real. Rough. I did the best I could being a mother. But when it comes to our young men, they need men.
They do.
Because y'all can talk to them on a level that we can never reach them.
That's true.
We just can't. And that's why I kept my son in sports. And shout out to all his coaches. They still in touch with him today. They were the men, they were like the village in his life. And if I ever called one of them coaches and said Eric is acting up, they were on him and they got him straight. Good. So, I'm just saying that to you because you listen, you got it. It's so many young men that you can reach, that you can talk to on their level to help them to understand that whatever they're doing or going through, like, it's a better way to do stuff.
That's right.
And that's what they need to see. So I just wanted to tell you that and give you a shout out. Y'all can't see this other brother over here, Sean. I'm going to bring Sean on another day. Let me see if I can turn the camera around real quick on Sean. Because we're gonna talk to Sean on another day. But Sean is running for office. Which office you running for, Sean?
State Senate.
State Senate. Okay. So we're going to bring Sean on another day when we're talking about politics, because this is the show where we talk about politics as well. So we bring all the politicians on here, but I got to tell you, you got to have a strong constitution.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, because they don't play on the Baltimore show.
No play here.
Okay.
No.
I'm just warning you.
Yeah. That's okay. Bring it on. Yeah. I'll do the dance.
Okay. Yeah, the people that come on Baltimore, I mean, they come with the questions. And
please bring it.
Okay. Y'all hear that?
Bring it.
So we're gonna bring Sean.
That's right.
So we're gonna bring Sean back on another day, and y'all gonna get to ask him some questions because he is running for office, and we know it's that time now, where people are starting to run, and we got to hold them accountable. We got to see who we putting in office.
That's right.
So I tell people, if you can't answer the questions on What Up Baltimore, then you need to go back home.
That's right.
That's it. Bottom line, go on back home.
Call back your kids.
Yeah, we can't use you here in Baltimore. No, you got to be real.
That's right.
And you got to be tough. You got to have thick skin because nobody's playing with you on this show. So anyway, y'all, have a great night. Have a great Thanksgiving. My name is Lady J. Again, my number is at the bottom, 443-297-4753. And some people sometimes say, I don't know who you are, so let me tell you who I am. I'm actually a certified life and spiritual coach. Yes, I have papers for those. And I just got my doctorate degree in June of this year. And my study was study mental health in the church and mental health in the community. So if you need some help, pastors, parishioners, people, anybody needs some help, call me, 443-297-4753. If you have a story you want to tell, feel free to call me. If there's anything else that you want to know about Lady J, I'm done. You can go to ladyjmedia.com and you can find out whatever you want to know. It's all there on that page, ladyjmedia.com. Everybody have a good night and have a safe holiday, everybody.
Love y'all, Big Mom.
All right.